Well, hello guys. So this is obviously the first video of the channel, and so I'm pretty new to this stuff, but I just want to I felt I guess maybe called to do something like this, but what the content of this channel will be is kind of just my experience, and I'll get to my story eventually, but just kind of advice on just situations that I've experienced that I can maybe help my younger self or people that are younger who are going through this stuff in this time in their life. So the title of this video obviously is how to handle rejection. And as someone who's been through it lots of times, I think I have a couple maybe good things to say just in regards to getting over it and just how to conduct yourself because rejection's a very situational thing. There's not really a universal thing that happens. But what I would like to just start with is this is a Christian channel, so throughout the video, I will probably be quoting some scripture to back up my points. So I guess we'll just get into it here. The first thing I want to cover is what to do when the rejection happens. So obviously we want to take it to God. And in First Peter 5:7 it says, "Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you." And so instead of moping around or going and crying somewhere, the first thing you should do is just go to God and just take it all to Him. Um, and I would say the second thing you should probably do is spend maybe about a day just processing what had happened and just thinking about maybe if there's something glaring that you might have did that, like, okay, like, I'll definitely not do that next time. That really helps, just figuring it out. But don't dwell on it too long. That's why I say a day. Don't do more than a day, because then you're just causing unnecessary anxiety in your life. Another thing that's helped me personally is just getting busy, um, hanging around friends, family, just doing things. Something that also is helpful and very rewarding is investing deeper into a friend of yours or somebody you already know, and just checking up on them and seeing how they're doing. Because doing this takes the stress and pressure off you, and then now you can feel like, obviously you want to help them, but it also makes you feel purposeful because you're going out of your way to check on them and try to offer solutions. So unfortunately, my list of what to do isn't as long as my list of what not to do, because I feel like I've done so many things wrong. So I'll just get into that. And so we'll just get right to the point here. First thing, what not to do is feel sorry for yourself. If this was truly a situation that was out of your control and you were rejected and you don't know why, don't feel sorry for yourself. It's just what happens. And what kind of ties into that, I would say, is listening to sad music. Now, I'm sure we all can think of a time that this was the case. For me, like, let's say I was 15 or 16 and I got rejected. First thing I wanted to do was, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna go, like, listen to Juice World or listen to some like sad rock music or whatever, because we want to. In that music, I think it makes us feel good at the time because we're hearing something relatable about the singer's story or experience. But what the issue is that singer isn't offering any solutions. They're just talking about their trouble and how they feel, and offering no solution. And so at the end of it all, you're really not getting anything from it, and you're just left feeling like you've related with somebody but haven't found an answer. So avoid listening to sad music. I'm going to talk more in future videos about music and the impact it has on us. But for this video, I would just say, if you have trouble listening to like nice music, then just don't listen to anything at all. Like, just don't listen to that stuff that makes you feel sad. And the next thing, which I think we all do as well, is trash talk. So when that girl rejects you, your first thing you want to do is like be like, she's a blah blah blah. You're like, you know what, and you go tell all your friends, and just tell them like how terrible she was, and like she's shallow and all this stuff, and sometimes there may be some truth behind it. I'm not saying they haven't done anything wrong. I'm sure they have, but if you look at this from a biblical standpoint, we can see in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29, it says, "Let no corrupting speech come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up as it fits the occasion." That is why I may give you grace to those who hear. So in this verse, clearly it's just talking about obviously not tearing people down, and there's no place for that ever. It's just kind of a general rule of thumb as a Christian. You just don't talk bad about people. There's no point in that. Um, and you got to remember, despite what this girl may be acting like, you got to remember that she is a child of God, and she is, the daughter of God, and you have to treat her as such, even if you feel like it's been unfair. Um, just be a gentleman about it, and yeah, it's tricky. It's tough though when you feel like you've been wronged. The other thing is obsessing over the situation, and trying to pinpoint and see how you could fit the mold that you think that she wants. And this just isn't productive, because you will never be able to figure out what she wants. And there's a lot more to it than you think. You can't just change one thing and think, okay, yeah, she's gonna like me now. If she's rejected you, just give up. It's not worth it. Obviously, if there's something you did wrong and you know that you did it wrong, then that's up to you to go change it. But if you're gonna change up your whole personality over a girl, it's not gonna work, and she's gonna see that you're being fake. And the last thing for what not to do, I would say, is to avoid impulsive decisions. Because when you're having all these emotions flying around and everything, you don't know. I don't think you're in the right state of mind, and so maybe avoid making big decisions in those like couple days or however. Like if it was soon when the rejection happened, just avoid, because you might make decisions in that time, and then later when you don't care anymore, you're just like, wait, why did I even do that? Like it wasn't that deep. And Philippians 3:13 says, "Brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what's ahead." So forget it. Leave it in the past. It's not worth it. Um, just leave it in the past, and get your confidence back, and don't let what happened before affect the next time you try to um, impress somebody or get in a relationship. So this last section here, I got to be very careful what I say. Um, and I want you to proceed with caution, because um, I wouldn't recommend this. So what I'm going to go over here is last ditch efforts. Um, so this is part of the rejection video, and I would only apply this if you feel the rejection happened after a girl had previously been into you, like she kind of initiated things and showed initial interest. I think this would be applicable if at some point she liked you. Um, the problem with last ditch efforts is you're not forgetting and moving on, you're dwelling on it. So I get how this is kind of contrary to what I said before. That's why I'd say it's very situational. So do this with caution, and you have to sign a contract in your head saying, you know I know that there may be consequences of hurting myself more and becoming more anxious because of this. But I'll just get straight into it here. The first last ditch effort you can do, I would say, is the game of silence. Um, Apply this for about a month, so you're not killing yourself, but do this for like a month. And this could result in her watching you from afar and seeing you at a new angle, while you like converse around friends and job and work, school, whatever situation you're in. Um, just do the game of silence. Don't ever look at her. Like, don't Don't ever look at her. And it just shows that you've moved on and that you don't care. And this could work in your favor if you do this for a while and she just sees you living life, being chill, and she may look and see like, wow, like he's pretty mature, um, and then maybe she'll start to think about what she's missing and what was happening when you guys were talking. I would say that the cons to this is doing this method will leave you invested. So, you're doing this month long thing, and in the back of your head, you're always thinking, like, oh, I hope she's watching me. I hope she sees this. And this can be very bad for your mental state. That's why I say proceed with caution and don't do this every time. This has to be for something you really want to fight for and you think that you had a chance in the beginning. If you didn't see that, don't do this because it's just terrible for you. And the second part, let's say after this month, you noticed that she was trying to get you to look at her and stuff and get your attention, but you just didn't give it to her. You followed the protocol. You hung out with friends, just acted chill and nonchalant. Let's say that all worked, and it's been about a month. Now I would say it calls for uh, the method I like to call doubling down. So uh, I would either do a phone call or I would write a letter, preferably a letter. Um, and in this letter, you would just kind of the beauty of the letter is it's something physical that she's going to receive and get, and it shows that you spent time to write something. And the bonus to you is you get to sit down and you get to creatively write and craft something that is organized and meaningful on your own time. So you're not stressed. You're not saying the wrong things. You have all the time to make this nice letter. And speaking from personal experience, this did work to an extent. That girl that rejected me came back, and she wound up telling me later that that letter had been on her wall, and she looked at it every night and would cry. And so it did work, technically. I'm not in that relationship, but I'm just saying the letters are very powerful. Um, the cons to this, though, if she never liked you at all, this will come off as desperate and not talking and not taking no for an answer. And so now she also has something to show her friends and laugh at you about. So it can go both ways. I would say it's a 50-50 on that one. Anyways, that is it for this video. Again, like I said, this is my first time, so you can see obviously there's Battlefield in the background. If you guys have any suggestions for backgrounds, I play Forza. I could do that. I could do Battlefield 5. But and maybe in the future I'll try to edit better and have like text and images and stuff. But I really just wanted to get on here and start sharing some future videos to look forward to in the future that I have planned is how to enjoy Thanksgiving as a single man, as a single Christian man. And then I'll do a Christmas series as well. And so that's kind of like the relationship side of things because me being single and everything, I've experienced the holidays and I know how it feels. So I want to kind of talk about the solutions I found to make them more enjoyable. So those will be some upcoming videos. I'll also have a personal story video and a testimony video talking about my walk in the faith and also uh, my personal story with rejection because that will take some time to go through. Um, but I hope you guys all enjoyed. I don't know who's going to see this, but I hope it could have helped at least one of you. And if you feel so called to, make sure you subscribe and like and share it with somebody who might need it. Thank you guys all. And remember, read your Bibles and stay in the Word. God bless.